Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Today's video is the complete guide to the coinage of King Henry IV. Now, King Henry IV ruled England between 1399 and 1413, so a 14-year reign, and we'll now go through in denomination order, looking at all of the coins minted under his rule. So we begin with the farthing. Here we can see a Henry IV farthing, a small and crude coin, but we can see the general design elements with the long cross running through, the 3 pellets within, a border around that, a legend around that reading Civitas London, so saying City of London. Now if we look at the weight of the coin, we can see it's very small, only 0.39 grams, and a diameter of just 8 millimeters. Now bear in mind the average day's wage for this era was between 2 pence and 8 pence, so around sort of £10 of buying power for this farthing back in the day in today's money. Looking over to the obverse, we can see a portrait here of King Henry IV. He faces out of the coin, has fairly long hair, and wears the crown, of course, as he is the king. And we can see the wording Henry there to the right, but it is quite smudged and worn. Moving on now to the halfpenny, the next denomination up. This is of course worth twice as much as the farthing, which was a quarter of a penny, and this is a half of a penny. Bearing the same design there, with the long cross running through, the 3 pellets in each quartering, and border and legend. This coin weighs 0.47 grams and is a bit larger with a diameter of 13 millimeters, but still a very small coin and could have easily been lost. Moving over to the obverse again, we can see a similar portrait of King Henry IV, again wearing the crown and facing out of the coin in this medieval style of coinage portrait. So there we have the halfpenny, and of course the next denomination along is double once again, and it is the penny, the most common denomination for much of medieval times. We have here a penny, again with a long cross running through, 3 pellets in each quartering, and a border around this, and then the legend around the outside. And we can see a bit of a stylistic join for the cross in the center there. Now this coin does weigh over a gram. It is 1.01 grams with a diameter of 18 millimeters, so the same diameter as a 5-pence coin for comparison. And here we have the obverse. Now it is a bit larger, so there's a bit more detail can be seen with the face of King Henry IV, and again the crown and the hair and the legend around. Again, very similar to many other medieval portraits, as they are all very similar of this era. Now then, before we continue on, above the penny we have 30 seconds from our sponsor. I'll very quickly tell you about Hattons of London. Hattons of London, who have sponsored this video, are specialists in rare and exclusive coins, and with them you can celebrate the 100 years since the naming of Flying Scotsman with the release of this world-first range of 22-carat gold sovereign coins. Simply click the link in the description or at the top of the comment section to get yours now for only £69, or you can buy the more exclusive double sovereign as part of the range, and with that you will receive a piece of the authentic Flying Scotsman boiler tube. You can actually own your very own part of Britain's most famous locomotive. Right then, carrying on now with the next denomination, which is the 2 pence, or known as the half groat. And we can see it here, a different design now, or very similar design actually, but it has been extended. We can see again the long cross running through, the 3 pellets in each quartering, a ring around that, and then a legend. We have a double ring and a double legend, so you can see 2 rings with 2 legends encircling the pellets, and of course all with a long cross running through, which is aimed to prevent clipping. And we have here again the portrait of Henry IV to the obverse. We can see the wording Henry there to the top right. A similar portrait, but a more sort of styled border around him, as there is more space to play with on the design of this coin, as it now weighs 2.15 grams and a diameter of 22 millimeters, so a similar size to a 20-pence coin, again for comparison to modern day. So a bit of a bigger coin and more design elements there. Now on to the groat, or the 4-pence coin. As you can see here, a very similar design, but of course enlarged for the 4-pence piece, with a long cross, 3 pellets, and a double ring of legends. These legends, of course, are all in Latin, as is tradition to this day for the legend of a coin, as we can still see it on modern coins being in Latin. Moving over to the obverse now, we have our most detailed bust yet of King Henry IV, with the crown, the nice styled border around him, and we can see some detail to his facial features, with again the legend around that, and it's saying Henry there to the top right. Now this coin weighs 3.78 grams with a diameter of 28 millimeters, so a similar size to a £2 coin of today, so a bit of a larger coin there if you are to own one, then you'll know how large they are. Moving on now to the gold coinage, beginning with a quarter noble, which is worth 1 shilling and 8 pence, or 20 pence. As we can see it here on screen, we can see the royal court-of-arms shield there to the centre, encircled with a floral, decorated and curvy board around that, with a legend around that. Moving over to the obverse, we can see here, we can see lots of design elements that have been quite worn over the years, but we can see lots of royally themed things, such as lions, leopards, and fleur-de-lis, as of course Henry IV did rule France at this time as well. The weight of this coin is 1.68 grams, and it has a diameter of 21 millimeters. So again, a similar size to a 20 pence coin of today for comparison, but of course worth much more, as this is a gold coin. Now onto the half noble, which is worth 3 shillings and 4 pence, or a sixth of a pound. You can see here much more design has been taken on the coin, with again lots of royally themed elements. So we have a legend around, then we have crowns and lions and fleur-de-lis around a central cross, with a H in the centre, of course the H for Henry. Moving over to the obverse, you can see Henry here, Henry IV, aboard a vessel with his shield in hand and his sword in the other. He's wearing his battle uniform and has his crown, so a very regal and military style design for the obverse of this half noble coin, and this has a weight of 3.52 grams and a diameter of 25.4 millimeters, so similar size to a 2 pence for comparison of today. Now then onto the noble, the highest denomination, 6 shillings and 8 pence, or 1/3 of a pound, so 3 of these to the pound. We have a similar design here to the reverse, with the H for Henry in the cross, lions and crowns surrounding, so a very regal and royal design for His Majesty King Henry IV's largest coin. Moving over to the obverse of the coin, we can see here again a very similar design, with King Henry IV in his boat, with a royal court-of-arms shield in hand. He wears the crown of England and France, of course, as he ruled both, and has a sword in hand, with a legend going around this. This coin weighs 6.76 grams and a diameter of 34 millimeters, so considerably larger than a half crown in diameter, so a lovely regal design to have. Now here we have the denominations of King Henry IV. So we have the farthing, a quarter of a penny, the halfpenny, a half of a penny, the penny, the 2 pence, the 4 pence, the quarter noble or 20 pence, the half noble or 40 pence, and then the noble, which is 80 pence, which is 1/3 of a pound sterling. So there we go, there's the coins of King Henry IV, of course all made between 1399 and 1413. Now please comment down below if you have any Henry IV coins, please subscribe as well. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon for some more coins in the future on Bits and Bobs. Bye for now.